All right, thank you for staying with Daybreak. Let's cross over to West Pokot, where the Governor, Professor John Lonyangapuo, is standing by to speak to us on various issues in regards to COVID-19. Governor, thank you so much for making time for us. So let's just dive straight into it. In March, your county had set up a 20-bed ward at the Kapenguria County Referral Hospital for the coronavirus patients. Has this increased since then?
Thank you. I want to greet you this morning and to confirm to you that we have two set aside areas in Kapenguria County Referral Hospital for high-risk area cases. We have 10 beds. And then the other ones for low risk, we have 20 beds, the one you have just mentioned. And we have also taken a whole KMTC, which is just 200 meters away from the hospital for that purpose, right in Kapenguria. And in every sub-county, we have enough space for such kind of scenarios should we need them. In Sigor, we have in Kachelipa, Chepareria, we have taken 5 other high schools also, should there be any need. But so far so good, we thank God that we have done our preparations. And our county is still, we are still safe, although we are alert, so that everywhere and everybody is keen in this county, just like it's also happening everywhere else in Kenya.
Okay. So the health CS, Mutahi Kagwe, said that a county's preparedness depends on the governor. Do you agree with those sentiments?
I agree, and to also add that it's not only the governor, every leader in the land, anybody who has authority, who is in authority, should be depended upon to give guidance and direction, should be depended upon to stand in at the time and the hour of need. So for that reason, West Pokot, myself here, together with the entire leadership in the members of parliament, together with the county commissioner, we are all fully prepared. Yesterday, graciously, former Senator Kakwe, who was my colleague then, now CS, gave us 500 PPE kits, which I'm going to receive in the next 1 hour, delivered to West Pokot, was to add on to what already we had. So we are doing our best. Our medical personnel have been trained. We have trained a good number, over 400 of them have been trained across the county. And there's a lot of civic education going on in our local radio stations. And also myself, occasionally together with the county commissioner, we make field trips once in a while to areas where we think people we need to enforce and tell people to put on masks. We tell people to put on, to wash their hands. West Pokot here is a county where you must wash hands every minute you want to breathe. Whenever there's water around, you wash. So we are trying our level best, and I want to tell you, people in the rural areas are now more obedient to the law than even those of us and those of you who are in the city and in the towns. They follow those rules, and no create things the way we are doing before. And I think we are creating a new culture which we must actually obey. And one clear example that I just saw the other day, a complaint from some chemists that normally sell flagyl. You know, flagyl is normally used for people with stomach problems. Now those items have not seen day of light outside the chemists because nobody's buying. People have clean hands, their body is suffering from many stomach upsets, and this is the way to go.
And Governor, have you received the 75 million shillings from the national government that was meant to be disbursed for fighting COVID-19?
We have not received, but any time from today, according to the circular I saw, we will be able to get the 75 million, for which we are now sitting. We have planned and sat, but we say let the money arrive first. Then the key items that require to be purchased, according to the regulation as given by the COVID-19 committee and the health team, is what we are going to prepare. But I also want to tell you that as a result of this problem that we have now in Kenya and the whole world, a new emerging problem called hunger is really ravaging homes across the country, not only in these rural areas, but I want to tell you it is tough because the people who used to do businesses are now down, especially those who have been selling things in the eateries, in the hotels. It is finished. Marketplaces where people normally to go and exchange goods for money, they have been closed. So we are hopeful and praying that the president, as he's going to address the nations this coming weekend, is going to give us guidelines, and we are also going to be also adding the input into every guideline that is giving for every sector. Traders must be given their rules and regulations. Everybody that is doing anything must be given regulations that we must obey and do so that we can be able to open our economy, although slow, but we have no choice. We have to abide by every rule and be back to duty for us to eat, for us to build this Kenya again.
Now, this hunger that you're talking about, what do you have in plan for the people of West Pokot now? Because we've seen they've been ravaged by floods there, and now people have lost most of their crop. What is the county's government's plan?
What we are doing at the moment, as you actually have noted clearly, this county has had a lot of tough attacks this year and late last year. Heavy landslides, destruction of towns, and also now hunger, as you have mentioned. What we are doing is to sit down with our assembly to see if we can put a little bit of some money for under COVID-19 so that we can be able to buy food. And I want to say food is not even sufficient. I have traveled to every cereal board in North Rift here. There is no maize inside. I don't know, I occasionally hear people say we have some food, maybe it's Nairobi. If you have some, give us. But what the national government occasionally give us here, we get rice, not maize. But we have a challenge in some homes of Kenya here, where people want maize, not anything else. But we have convinced everybody else that whatever we can be able to eat and move for another day, we take. So those are the things that we are doing. We also have our friends who have stood with us, anybody who is willing to also stand with West Pokot that has been hard hit at such time as this, is welcome. And I want to particularly mention the NDMA. We have worked together with them here. We are getting some little food soon. We have also AIC Kijape. They have given us some food, and many, many others. I cannot mention all of them. Overall, also yesterday we received some rice through the office of the county commissioner, for which we are giving to those families that are hard hit. Previously, we also bought maize as county government of West Pokot, 5,000 bags. We wanted to buy 50, but somehow there were challenges. That is part of the maize that we are using also in our store. We saw that challenges may come. As a government, we must be prepared to have something in store at a time you least expect you have a need.
Okay.
This is how we are doing, and we are trying, but our hands are also open. Anybody, including you, my brother, you can even walk around and see how we are doing.
Okay. So now
we have also done a lot of planting of maize. Every home was given maize enough for half an acre, and the maize is now almost knee high and above.
Yeah.
And if the rains continue the way they are, including, although it has a lot of landslides, but if it continues well, we will have food by September, October.
Now, there's been a plan to reopen the economy and probably even schools. Does West Pokot schools have the infrastructure for social distancing should the schools reopen?
You know, every school has capacity and opportunity to have social distancing. There's nothing impossible for a man to do. So I want to pray that as soon as we think it's practical, possible to open school, we should open even as early as yesterday. If I walked around yesterday, I was in the mountains, I saw kids are almost forgetting to speak in Swahili and English because now they have played enough. Even the uniform is finished. They are even, we are also going to have a new expenditure as they go back to school. Social distancing is going to be there. And our teachers should now already, I am hoping that Professor Mahoha is going to also set out quickly that teachers and people working in schools should start to be trained now so that when the kids are going back to school, I don't know when, in the next 2-3 weeks or 1 month or so, we should be already have taught them in the environment. We should be able to do those things in school so that you look at the environment and locate social distancing, water. Even us as a county, we work closely with them. Fortunately, we gave them a lot of bursary for every kid. So And that money has not been spent, so it's in school. They can be able to utilize to have their food. They can be able to utilize to buy their whatever. We can also give them some of the water facilities and so on and so on. We got the other day a lot of water. We opened our first water project coming to town. We have been having a lot of challenges in Kapenguria town with dirty water. Now we have, for the first time since 57 years now ago, clean water direct to every town and every building in town.
So you think the economy should be reopened, keeping in mind that West Pokot is on the highway to South Sudan and truck drivers spend a lot of time at Makutano, at Chepareri, at trading centers. Do you think it's the right time to reopen the economy?
It is the right time to reopen the economy. These truck drivers are very few. We can monitor those guys from dawn to dusk. We can even follow them from Mombasa. We can even put a chip in their vehicles to know whether they are. We can always trace them wherever they are any minute. I want to tell you, even those ones that are already coming through West Pokot, they are very obedient. They produce a certificate to show that they have already been tested, and they tell us designated areas where they are going to stop. So we have already alerted our security officers, our enforcers, and everybody is aware that it's only Kapenguria, Makutano, Chepareri, Otum, Marich, and Kainuk in Turkana where we are concerned about. So if they can pass safely, why not? So long as they don't come out of their vehicle.
Okay.
Our economy must be opened the way I see. We are in tough times, and tough decisions have to be made for the sake of our people.
All right. Thank you for making time for us, Governor. That's Professor John Lonyangapuo, is the Governor of West Pokot. He says the economy needs to be reopened because it's a tough time for the people, but he also says that they have plans to ensure that the people do not starve in West Pokot.